This is the question what I got from one of my friends. So he has two nodes. Those two nodes are in enterprise edition of 2019, and they got a requirement to add two more nodes to the existing failover cluster, and it will be 2022. Later, these two nodes will be decommissioned. Means 2019 will be decommissioned, and 2022 will be coming into picture. So this is nothing but what we call internally as rolling upgrade, kind of rolling upgrade. Okay, so you have to understand first what is rolling upgrade, and this requirement will be very common across our environments because we will be migrating from 2012 because 2012 is outdated now and it is out of support. So definitely 2012 and in few days, not in few days, but in few years, maybe 1 or 2 years, 2014 will be obsolete. Means end of mainstream support will be also gone. So 2012 and 2014, we will try to work on those systems mainly, right? And also there are chances to configure always on between on-prem and Azure VM or AWS EC2. And that is also rolling upgrade. Doesn't matter where you are configuring. The thing is that if you are mixing up two different Windows OS and two different SQL OS, it's called as rolling upgrade. That is the concept that you have to keep in your minds. Rolling upgrade means you are configuring always on between different versions of SQL, and you are configuring failover cluster on different versions of Windows. So that is the main thing. The thing that you have to understand here is the problem here is rolling upgrade of Windows is different and rolling upgrade of SQL is different. Those two are different concepts. So I cannot show you those two concepts together because it takes a lot of time and it eats a lot of money also. So for the moment, what I plan for myself, even I have not performed this, but I'm doing this on the fly. So if we get any errors, we have to resolve it on the fly. So that is a problem. Second thing is um, for rolling upgrade of Windows, this is very important. Whatever what I'm going to say, this point is very important. I'm talking about rolling upgrade of Windows. So what is rolling upgrade first of all? So we are going to perform setup, or we are going to set up clusters, failover cluster between different versions of Windows, okay, or different versions of SQL. That is called as rolling upgrade or mixed versions of OS or SQL. Okay, thing that you have to remember is in case if you are doing rolling upgrade for Windows OS, I'm talking about Windows, not SQL. Again, I'm saying I'm talking about Windows, not SQL. So it is only permitted to do n-1. Means, for example, if you are doing 2012 R2, you are permitted to go with 2016. For instance, if you are on 2016, you are permitted to go with 2019. Okay, so if it is 2022 OS, then you are supposed to go with 2019, n-1. That is the only thing that is being supported when it comes to OS. So OS will be taken care by your infra teams, but still there are many questions that that comes to us when we have operating system as 2016 or 2012 and we have always on sitting on them. Okay, so that is a second scenario that I will try to do it later. Okay, but I am stressing the important point that you have to keep in your minds. When you are doing rolling upgrade for Windows, it will only support n-1. Okay, n-1 means it has to be 2016, 2019 or 2019, 2022 or 2012 R2 or 2016. It should be something like that. Okay, any questions here? Did you understand what is rolling upgrade and the important point of rolling upgrade when it comes to operating system? These two things are very important. Okay, if you have no questions, I will proceed now. Let me show up my machine. So yesterday night, I configured all these SQL 2017 and 2019. So whatever you are seeing as part of resource group upgrade, they all the machines are part of our demo now. Okay, leave these two, SQL DC and SQL ML. You can ignore this bottom two, which are in stop state. Rest of the 5 machines, they are running, and those are the 5 machines that we are going to deal with now. So first, before me explaining about those concepts, you have to understand my setup. Okay, so first it is important to understand the setup what we have, and then we will go with the rolling upgrade of SQL. So if you see, I have one domain controller and 2 nodes, both are 2017 nodes. Okay, and I have 2 more nodes, both are 2019. So the requirement here is I have to remove 2017 and I have to go with 2019. Imagine 2012 here in place of 2017 because I didn't get the machine of 2012, and also I need to apply service pack 4 and all to do all the stuff. So that is the reason I went with 2017. Okay, but we'll talk about 2012 R2 later. So the demo is going to be always on between 2017 and 2019. It has to be clear, guys, for you. Always on, I'm going to configure between 2017 and 2019. That is first thing. Second thing, these two machines are running on 2016 operating system, and these two machines are running on 2019 operating system. Did you get the requirement? I mean, the setup, what I configured. 2017 SQL is running on Windows 2016. Okay, let me just write it manually for our understanding sake. SQL 2017 machines are running on Windows 2016. Okay, I'll make this larger. And 2019 machines are running on Windows 2019. So this is the scenario. It happens in real time also. We are going to mix up two different Windows operating system flavors and two SQL different versions. So this is called as rolling upgrade. Mixing up different versions of OS and SQL. Okay. Now my requirement is I have to migrate from 2017 to 2019 and remove these two machines of 2017. So that is the requirement. Mukesh just said I am not audible. I mean, he is not audible. So is it for all or?
No, we are able to hear you also.
Okay. Okay, fine. Okay, so I hope you got the requirement and we'll just move along. Before that, I will remove the 2019 notes and I will show you. I just configured Windows cluster yesterday night. If you want, we can delete that and we can do it from the scratch. Or else, I will talk about the important point.
See, it will be helpful if you recreate the cluster so we can
Uh,
understand.
we can recreate. That is not a big deal. The problem is we need to restart, do a lot of work. That is the only thing.
Okay,
Um,
it's possible.
see,
Then no problem.
okay, so first of all, I will show you. I have four nodes, 2017 and 2019. Okay, four nodes are there. And this is 20, if you see here, let me go to summary. This is 2016 data center and this is 2019 data center. So it will allow you to add different versions of operating system as part of our Windows cluster. It is possible, but only thing that you have to remember, this is very important. When you are adding the nodes, usually what we do is we will validate the cluster. Okay. So we'll click on validate cluster and we'll validate the cluster. But when you perform this action, it will not work and it will throw the error because you cannot add different versions of OS and cluster validation will fail. Okay. So my suggestion to you all is you have to ignore cluster validation at the time of adding different versions of operating system. Usually will not work on different versions of operating system. I know many of you will work only on single operating system version, but this is a different scenario. This is a different scenario altogether. So here, as a best practice, we always configure or we will always perform cluster validation. It is mandatory to perform cluster validation because it helps us to identify any issues before adding the nodes to the cluster. But this is an exceptional scenario. If you are dealing with different versions of operating system, if you run this cluster validation, it will throw an error. It will throw an error. So don't get panicked. It is common. Okay, you can ignore that error and you can add that two nodes or two versions of different OS here. It is possible. It is possible to add different versions of OS. Only thing is you cannot run cluster validation. If you run cluster validation, it will fail and eventually you think something went wrong. That is not the case. Okay. We can destroy this and create it from the scratch, but it will take another 10 minutes more to do this. If you want, we can quickly do it. Okay, so let me do this. It's okay. I can do it. Um,
So,
yeah,
bro, yesterday I validated the cluster and added. I got errors, but even though it got added
yeah,
into the cluster.
it will get added, but the only thing is you have to ignore that error. Okay.
Yes.
If you
Okay.
just concentrate on that error, you think that it will not allow and will not add the nodes, but that is not the case. So let me do it. You cannot destroy the cluster. Okay, so I will delete this. I'm doing it from the scratch. This kind of errors will pop up, so don't worry. We'll do this refresh.
Vamsi, you're in which server now?
I'll show you. I'll show you. 1 second.
Okay.
It is saying will say more actions. There should be something called as destroy cluster. Let it get destroyed. I will show you from the scratch. So I am on 2017 node 1. Okay, because as I said, we have to start from 2017, right? So let me make this bigger. Okay, 2017 node 1. So I'm on 2017 node 1. We are doing it from the scratch. So first I will add only two nodes, node 1 and node 2 of 2017. And then later I will add 2019. Okay, so let me do this fastly. 2017. It will take time, guys. That is the only downside, but it's okay. I got the missions what I have on the domain controller. So my two missions are going to be 2017 for the moment. For the moment, as part of Windows cluster. So it is asking for the validation test. This you can run, no problem, because we are not adding 2019 here. We are just adding 2017. So we can run this if you want, but this is just a demo. So I'm not going to run that validation. So click on next and cluster name. Cluster name, you can give whatever it is. So I'll say test cluster at the moment. But in real time, make sure you are giving proper names. So this is very important. If you're dealing with always on, you have to uncheck this box. If you don't do, you'll face some problems. I discussed those problems in my classes, so I don't want to repeat that. So don't ever forget to check this box when you're dealing with always on. When you're dealing with always on failover clusters, then that is a different story. In SQL FCA, it is SQL FCA, it's okay. But if you are dealing with only always on, don't forget to check this box. Very important. Okay, so we are just going to create the failover cluster. This is the problem. It takes 2 or 3 minutes unnecessarily. Okay, it's done. So finish. So we have the test cluster now. Let it get loaded. Okay, so test cluster is there and it is showing offline. Don't worry, don't panic. So this is DNN. Of course, this now almost 2 years back I did this and now I'm doing this again. When you create any Windows cluster, it takes the IP of one of the machines. It won't ask you to, it won't pop up to enter the static IP. So what we have to do is go to the properties and it will take DHCP by default. So that is the reason it is picking up one of the node IPs. So ignore this DHCP, you have to go with static IP and use something which is not in use. So I will say 20 for the moment. Click on 20. Okay, and then if you bring this online, it will work. It should work in general. Okay, so we are back to the good shape. So test cluster is my Windows cluster name, and I have two nodes participating in this Windows cluster, 2017 node 1 and 2017 node 2. So now the scenario is you have to add 2019 and 2019 Windows OS, 2019 Windows version operating system into the existing 2016. So don't get confused with the terms. Windows operating system is 2016 and SQL is 2017. And our target is going to be 2019 SQL and 2019 operating system. If you want, just to double confirm you nodes, if I go to the nodes, we are on 2016. Okay, both the nodes are in 2016 and the SQL is 2017. Just keep it aside. And now we'll go to add nodes. So go to the nodes and we're going to add two nodes of 2019. So advanced right now. Any questions till now? So this is 2019 and 2019 node. Yeah. Okay. So now click on next. So this is what I'm saying. If you click on validation, it will throw error. It will throw error saying that you cannot add different versions of operating system to the cluster, but you have to ignore that error and move on. So that is, if you just see this in real time, kindly ignore. This is test, right? So I'm not wasting my time. I'm just clicking on no. Okay. Again, I am unchecking this box. This is very important. So let's wait for it.
Vamsi, one question here.
Yeah.
As you said, we are just skipping the validation for 2019 one. In case by mistake we continued with that, it will throw the error, right?
Just throw the error. You have to ignore it. Nothing great over there.
We can now, at that time, we can continue that process, or we need to restart the adding the node by.
See, very simple. If you just run that validation, it as part of validation checks, it says you cannot add different versions of operating system.
Okay.
Just for your information, just a second. Where is that video? 1 second.
Yeah, I understand the part. Just to
try
to understand, by mistake we started the validation, it thrown the error. At that time, again, we need to start from the scratch for 2019 only, adding the nodes, or we can just skip that.
You add node is what we should do. Okay, there is a video available on my channel. I don't know whether it is public mode or private mode. But there is a video what I made where it clearly shows an error and it won't allow us. It throws an error. It throws an error, but you have to ignore that error and you have to move on. You have to just move on.
Okay, understood.
So now if you see 2019 is here and 2016 is here. We have two different operating systems. And if I go to cluster events, there will be a warning. See this warning. So this straight away saying a warning message saying that, okay, let me click on that warning. Node 2017 established communication with another node and detected running different but compatible version of operating system. This is what I said. At the beginning, I said very important point. That important point is nothing but rolling upgrades of Windows operating systems are n-1. When I say n-1, I mean to say, so let me take a notepad. When it comes to Windows operating system, we have something called as Windows 2012 R2 and then Windows 2016 and 2019 and then finally 2022. Oh, sorry. So these are the different operating systems what we have for Windows. So if you are adding different versions of operating system, it has to be n-1. Means currently my operating system is 2016. So I can add only 2019. I cannot add 2022. Okay, remember that. So imagine my current operating system is 2012 R2. I can add only 2016. I cannot add 2019 or 2022. So it is n-1. Always at the operating system level, it is n-1. This is very important. N-1, that is the formula. Okay. So if it is 2019, I can add 2022. No problem. It is
It is
26.
Sorry to disturb. N-1 or N+1?
See, usually people will represent as N-1, means target will be higher version and the source will be one version less than that. Okay, so they call it as N-1 instead of N+1. So there is no N+1 when you are dealing with the technical terms. We always call it as N-1. N stands for higher version over there. Okay, so that is how to represent. But for our understanding purpose, we can say source is N and the target should be N+1. Okay, for understanding purpose, as you said, what you said is right. It should be N+1. But in terms of technical terms, what we use, it has to be N-1. Means we always talk about target first in these scenarios. Okay, so 2016 and 2019, that is the reason it said we are running with different versions of operating system, but it is compatible. And they are saying I mean, it's very important message what Microsoft is saying. We recommend that all the nodes are running with the same operating system. After the nodes have been upgraded, you have to run update-cluster Windows functional PowerShell command line to complete the upgrading the cluster. So if there is something that you have to run at the final stage, ignore that for the moment, but this is the message straight away it is saying. Okay. It is the warning message what we are getting. So just ignore that. And now let's come back to our session. Okay. So I don't know how to avoid this real RMX3. You are trying to show something or what is that? Okay. So nodes are there now. The 4 nodes. Okay. Now coming back to SQL Server. So I'll just disconnect and I'll show it from the scratch. This I didn't do this before. Now I have to do it now in front of you. So if you get any errors, you have to sit along with me. There's no other go. I'm sorry for that. I thought of doing, but I'm taking a risk now. Okay, so always on availability. So this is the test cluster. So better we will restart this SQL Server once because we destroyed the Windows cluster, right? So it is better to restart the SQL to avoid any surprises. I have to do this on 4 machines now. Not to restart.
See, meanwhile, one question like, what's the difference between rolling upgrade and normal migration? Like, we can build a new always on AG setup and we can migrate, right? So, what is the difference between rolling upgrade and migration?
I'll take your question. Just a second.
Okay.
3 and then this is DC. What is this machine? Cost. It's DC, so we can run this. Okay. So now coming back to your question. So your question is, what is the difference between rolling upgrade and the general migration scenario, right?
Correct.
So imagine on the source, okay, imagine on the source, I have something 2016, SQL 2016 on Windows 2016. Okay, SQL 2016 is the source. Okay, and SQL 2016 node 1 and node 2 are running. Now you got a requirement saying that you have to migrate to 2022. So target is going to be 2022. So we have 2 options here. Okay. So what I can do is we'll have listener here, right? Definitely we'll be having some listener. And the requirement is to go with 2022. So I have 2 options. Either I have to go with in-place upgrade where I have to perform in-place upgrade on node 2 and then node 1. So get it done to 2022. That is one option, provided if Windows Watch operating system is compatible. That is very important point. Okay. So that is first thing. Second thing, if I ignore the in-place upgrade, then I have something called as side-by-side. So side-by-side, if I wanted to leverage side-by-side, what I have to do here? If I wanted to go with side-by-side. If I wanted to go with side-by-side, what happens is that I can copy the databases from source and I can restore it onto target 2022. Okay. And then at the time of final cutover, I will take the final log backups or whatever it is. Okay. And then I have to stop the services on this, and I will bring this service online. So that is the regular migration what we carry out. Yes or no?
Yes.
Side by side.
Yes. Correct.
Yeah. The only thing is, how about the usage of listener? That is the main point. See, for example, some applications will hard code their connection strings. So if that is the case, they always request us to go with the same listener name. So whatever the listener name, what they are using, they want the same listener name even on the target, right?
Okay.
So if that is the case, then we have to stop the cluster here, and you have to remove this, and you have to create that listener name again here. So that is the complication if client requires the same listener name to be configured. Okay, that is
Yes.
first thing. Second thing, ignore about listener. They said, okay, it's fine. I don't bother about listener, and we don't have any hard coded strings in our application, and we can go with the new listener. So you can go with the new listener. So here I have the option to go with new listener. If that is the case, I don't bother. I will just take the backups, restore here, perform the final cutover, and go with the new listener. So this is the general mechanism what we have. So now imagine a situation, okay, where client is not willing to provide any downtime. So the downtime will be very, very, very minimal. I would say only fraction of seconds or maybe minutes. Okay, max 2 or 3 minutes. So that is the scenario. Okay. And if
Okay.
that is the case, I cannot go with this methodology, right? I cannot
Yes.
go with this methodology because taking the backup, restore, log backup, eventually whatever the scripts what you make use of, it won't give you that exact downtime what client has provided you. It's not possible. If that is the case, what I can do is I can add the missions. I can then add the missions of SQL 22 to the existing cluster, and then I will replicate the data. Okay, so I don't need to change the listener name also. The listener name remains the same. And at the time of final cutover, I will fail over from 2016 to 2022. So you are allowing different versions of SQL to participate into the existing failover cluster. That is rolling upgrade. So we discussed about three options: in place, side by side, and rolling upgrade.
Right.
Okay. So
Yeah.
the problem with side by side is, as I said, if they want to make use of same listener name at DNS level, they have to modify something, and it will take little longer time. That is the only downside. And if they wanted to go with new listener, then it is fine, absolutely fine. It's okay, right? So did you get the three scenarios? We have three scenarios. So I try to explain all three.
Yeah. Very much clear, Vamsi.
Okay, sure. Uh,
Thank you.
no problem. So now what I have to do? Yeah, I just restarted all the SQL services, right? So now I have to create the always on. Let's go with 2017. Okay, let me go with Windows authentication. And by the way, guys, so if you are on the latest version of SSMS, when I say latest version, so go to help about. So you are seeing 20.2. Okay, I think it is the latest version of SSMS. So latest version of SSMS is having something called as connection security. Under connection security, there is something called as encryption. So if I choose mandatory and if I try to connect, so this is the message what you get. A connection was successfully established and there is no login process, blah, blah, blah. So if you see something like this, when you are connecting to your instances on latest version of SSMS, it should be optional. Okay, it should not be mandatory or it should not be strict unless you have underlying the certificates and all. Okay, so usually if there are no certificates and nothing, it's a plain vanilla instances. So you have to go with optional. So don't get surprised if you see the message like something like this. Okay, so it has to be optional, and if it is optional, it will allow you to connect. First point. Second thing, I have to go with 20. I have to go with node 2 now, and then I'm connecting to node 2. So I have to set up always on now. So I'll come here. From this, I have not done. I have to do it on the fly now. Let's hope it works. See, so straight away we got some error. So what is this error? Why we get this error? Because we destroyed the Windows cluster. When we destroy the Windows cluster, and if you try to perform it again, you will get this error. Okay, don't get surprised. It's okay. what we have to do is just go to your configuration manager and go to always on availability and first uncheck this box. Okay, and then check this box again. Click OK and then restart. Then it will work. I just restarted it. It won't work. You have to uncheck and do that again.
Yeah, we need to uncheck, restart, then we have to check and restart, right?
Yeah. So that's what we should do. DAG is there, Vikram. Someone was asking about DAG. That is the next class. So I will show you how to set up DAG and how to carry out that using distributed availability group. So for the moment, we are just taking up the standard normal always on. Let's wait for it. I'm going to do this on 4 missions. That is the problem. Hope I did on all the 4 missions. So let's go now and trying to start this connect. I am still getting that. The local is not building blah, blah, blah. All the nodes are up, right? Just to ensure. Yeah, everything is up. Don't worry, this can be avoided. This is expected, and that is the reason I said I don't want to destroy the Windows cluster. Just wait for it. First restart, and then I will check that box and how to do it. First, I will check on this mission, and if it works, I will do this on rest of the missions. I don't know how many of you worked on rolling upgrade because I have not worked on any rolling upgrade till now. Yeah, so it is allowing. So that is what I should do. I did on this mission, right? So it has to be uncheck, restart, and then check it back. Any questions? Instead of sitting silently, you can, if you have any questions, you can come.
Yeah, Vamsi message this time. I think my voice is listening. Yeah, I'm audible?
Not really. Bit louder.
Oh my God. Actually, it is a network issue
Okay.
going on. Thank you. Actually, in my environment, I'm just planning to upgrade a rolling upgrade. Actually, Windows 16 is running and SQL 17 is also running. Okay.
Okay.
So we cannot go 22, I think, as per you. We go only 19.
Yeah. See, you can go with SQL 2022, but Windows should be 2019. So understand the logic here, guys. So
Okay.
this is a bit complicated topic. Okay. So let me show you one important thing. SQL 2022 compatibility Windows. Okay. So if I go to the operating system, okay. So I am trying to install SQL 2022. In your case, like what you said. So I can install SQL Server 2022 on Windows 2019 data center, right? You got my point. It need not to be Windows 2022. It can be Windows 2019 also. So in your scenario, since you have 2016 and 2017 as SQL, and you are trying to upgrade to 2022 SQL, and my thing is that it has to be N-1. So if that is the case, your operating system should be Windows 2019, where Windows 2019 will support SQL 2022. So you can go with 2019 as the operating system, and you can go with SQL 2022. So it is possible. But only thing is you have to ensure that your Windows operating system is 2019 rather than Windows 2022.
Okay, so first we need to upgrade the OS, then we start. That's it.
Yeah, so see, rolling upgrade of Windows is always challenging and it is not going to be that easy. Okay, so when you have the operating system, when you have the always on top of it. So that is the reason I said I will take rolling upgrade of operating system some other time. First, you have to understand rolling upgrade of SQL and see how it works. So that is the part. Okay, so I don't know whether I have done this. The first do on first two missions, so node 1 and node 2. Let's see whether it is ready or not. I hope it should be fine. So let's click on next and I'll set test staging. Okay, so this database is not accessible, so I'll create one new database because we deleted all the things, right? So that is a problem. We need not worry about the data inside the database. We are just focusing on important things. Means how the failover works and whether it works or not. That is my main intention. Okay, so maybe one next SKG group. Pull back and paste it, right? Next. First, we are just doing with node 1 and node 2. As expected, I got that error. 1 second. It is node 2 here. Node 2 is this one, which means 131.
Okay, one question more, Vamsi. Suppose normal in place upgrade, the same scenario happened on this.
In place upgrade is different, right? So in place upgrade, we will try to focus on SQL in place upgrade, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I will take your question. First, let me see if this works or not.
Okay.
So I'll go with, let me do with synchronous for the moment. And I'm not going to create any listener here. We'll focus on that later. So automatic serial, yes, fine. Click on next and click on finish and see if this works first. Because as I said, I didn't practice SQL. So if there are any surprises, I have to face that. Okay, test staging group, it's fine. How about replicas? Okay. See, second replica, I'm not able to connect. Imagine this is real time. How will you do? What will you do? So you will come here and I'll just again try to click on join availability group. And then you will try to say connect. It will give you the script and it fails. Obviously it fails. It is saying cannot create availability group, blah, blah, blah. So what should I do now? Just think that this is a real time and how quickly will you resolve this error?
Check error log.
Very good. So that is the first thing.
I think we need to run T-SQL script.
Nothing. Very simple. See, first thing what you have to do is whether it is GUI or T-SQL doesn't matter. So first you have to identify what is the error. So for that you have to come here. Okay, it is saying, let me come down.
Vamsi Garu, can you just increase the font, please?
I don't know how to increase this font at the bottom. If you are aware, just let me know. Go to node 2. Why I'm typing, I'll copy this. Control CV.
Vamsi, can you hear me?
Yeah.
On the bottom, just to click and do shift to control plus control scroll it.
Shift and then control.
Control and if you're using a mouse, no.
Okay.
There will be the middle button.
Yeah.
Just to increase. Yeah. Control plus. With the control.
Okay, I'm trying to do this.
Right.
It's okay.
By pressing. Okay.
I'm not getting it's okay. We'll just focus on the important thing. I will just copy this. So are you seeing anything here? So let me do this again. Then you will get to know. SQL. Someone said T-SQL is created. Okay, if for your information, someone said T-SQL will work. Go to SQL CMD because this is SQL CMD, and we'll try to join now. So it failed again. So it is not allowing me to do. So let me run clear log. Did you see anything? Nothing, right? Anything? No, I couldn't see anything.
In this server, we saw like connection timeout error in the bottom.
Connection timeout, it happens, but why I'm not able to connect is the question, right? So
Try to ping once. I mean, you have already enabled the port number, right?
yeah. So let's see that because as I said, this I'm doing in front of you, so we can expect any error. So let me go to PowerShell. Now we'll go with basics as we don't know whether the 5022 and those things are there. So TNC SQL, what is this node host name? Okay. So
Secondary server resume and suspend data movement.
no, we are see the replica itself is not able to connect. So first we have to get rid of this error. I'm not bothering about databases. So if I go to node 2, you'll see database will not appear here because the replica itself is not connected. If that is the case, you won't see this here. So first you have to work on that part.
It may be endpoint issue.
Yeah, let's see.
Endpoint.
Let me zoom a bit. Okay. So TNC SQL 217.
Once you check the permissions, connect or view server stage 1 anti-authority login.
Yeah, we'll do everything. First, we'll go and see the basics of 5022 and 140 just to see if the connectivity is there. Even on test machines, it is taking some time to come back. If it is false, then I have to work on that. Okay, something failed. TCP test failed, something. Okay. So let me see if I disable the firewall. I'll first disable the firewalls and see if that works. If not, I will try to add that explicitly. Okay, let's run it again. Let's see. Yeah, now it is showing success. Now it should allow me to join. Join to available. Okay, still failing. Okay, let's see what is the error. Nothing here. How about here? Yeah, now I am getting some errors. So as you can see from the bottom, this is how you should troubleshoot, guys. So first focus on replicas. Okay, replica section should be fine. It should be blue. I mean, this symbol, I don't know, some symbol, blue color should be there on both of your replicas, which what was not there prior. So after turning off the firewall, as you can clearly see, it was failing and now it is succeeded. After that, we got one more error. It is saying login attempted by node $2, it failed and failed. So why, what do you think, why it is causing this error? What is the exact issue? Imagine this.
I mean, either NT authority access issue or else endpoint access issue.
Okay, so coming back to see my first class, I think my the best video of mine is related to this topic only. So I am not checking NT authority because I think naturally it is coming with the permissions now on the.
Yeah.
So we have the NT authority slash system, but there is no harm in checking that NT authority is there. So what is this error then?
Endpoint type. Can you check once?
Yeah,
it has a
endpoint
service account.
Yeah, that is the point. So if you see here, I am running the services with local system, means this one, NT service slash MS SQL. I didn't create any domain accounts for that to run. If that is the case, I have to, so yeah, as Viral said, domain service account use. So I'm not using domain services here. I'm just going with NT service, local service. So what I have to do is, I have to provide permissions to the logins. Guys, okay. Can you mute yourself? You are not done. Yeah, thank you. So what I have to do is copy this back here. This is the account, what it is saying. So I'll say what I will say is create login name from Windows. Okay, and then I have to grant endpoint permission. So for that, instead of this is test system, right? So instead of that, I'm just quickly providing him sysadmin. It need not needs to be done on your systems, guys. So as this is just a test system, I'm going with sysadmin. But in your case, you can just grant endpoint permission to that account. Similarly, I have to do this on other machine also. So let me do this. I don't need this. And I don't need this one. Let's need this command. Create login. Your secondary, and then here you have to say node 1. So on node 1, you have to, on node 2, you have to give node $1, and on node 1, you have to give node $2. It's opposite. Okay, refresh, and then security login. This guy, give him endpoint permission only, but as this is just a test, what we are doing. So I'm going to use this circle. Okay, now done. So it should work now, hopefully. So let's go to here and click on join. Click on SQL authentication, connect. Okay. Oh, still error. Okay, remove, and I'll remove and I'll add this back. It should work now.
Vamsi Vikram here. Just one question. It may seems to be a silly question. That login you have created, okay, there is a symbol like dollar. Why you mentioned the dollar symbol over there?
It's computer account.
Computer name.
No, you can't we go with the only like removing the dollar? Can we go with the name like create login Dublin slash 2K SQL 2K17 node something like that?
It won't work like that, Vikram. I will come back to your question. I'll take your question. I know what you're saying. So yeah, yes, either local account needs to add on for crossing that. That is fine. So dollar account is nothing but we'll talk about that later. It will take some time. I will.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah. So we are in good shape. Looks like it's in green color and show dashboard. Done. So it looks fine. Now imagine I need to add 2019 to the existing setup. So this is where the challenge pops up. Before I do, let me just do this. 2019, what is the oh, sorry, IP address 111 and 30, right? Here it is. Let's uncheck this. Let me do this on 30 as well. It's 30, 30. Is there. So I can check this and I get this. I need to add node 1 and node 2 of 2019. Let's go and let's try to add replica. Click on next, connect, and then next, add replica. 2019 node 1. I hope the restart is done. Yeah, it's done. 2019 node 1 replica is it. 19 node 2. I think you will get the same error. Probably, I'm not sure. That dollar account needs to be added here also. Sorry, 2019. Okay, so for the moment we are going with asynchronous. Let's first try to add this and see if that works first. So now we got some errors. As you can see, these are in red color and these are in yellow. It says the red mark again. So I believe let's test it first by using read error log. And if I go to the bottom, it says node 1 and node 2, same error. So what I have to do is come back here and it is 2K19 node $1 and node $2. If it is service account, you won't get this problem, but it's fine. And I have to do this on 2019 there also. See how complicated the setup goes on. I mean, slowly we can get on with errors, but you have to have all this stuff with you. So this is one thing, and I have to create this on another two as well.
So one small doubt. I'm not sure if it works. Just can we create one single common login and can we create on all the 4 servers? Does that work?
It will work. So you need not do all this stuff. Since I'm running with local system accounts, I'm getting this. Okay. So if it is service account, you need not do all this stuff.
So I can use same service account on all the 4 servers.
Yeah. Absolutely fine. You can. Even in fact, you can make use of MSA, group managed service accounts. That is also possible. Okay, let's first try to do this. Join to vulnerability group 2019. Okay, so I have not done on the other side. I should have I should have gone with service account. That's my mistake. It's okay. Mm, yeah. See, if you practice like this, eventually you will feel comfortable even on given time. Okay, so what is that command? Alter role name, add member, I guess.
Hope we need to create 2019, right?
Sorry. So this one, right? If I get the command, I will alter server role and member. Copy this. This is clumsy now. I can understand. Okay, so 2019, we have done this, and let me do this on. Okay, let's now try to add. Hopefully, it should work. Am I unknown one? Yeah. Join to availability group and directory. Content. Still says same as is it the case?
Can you check firewalls once for those servers also?
5022, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that is important thing. So this should be done well before so that we can avoid all these different errors. Anyways, no other goal now. One and 309. Yesterday itself, I added the missions to domain controller, so I didn't turn off that. I'll close the windows and make that clear. Accept this. One second, yes, just give me 1 second. I'll come back. Got some water, I was feeling thirsty. Let's quickly wrap this up. Getting a headache. So now here I should have 3 logins: 2017 node 1, 2017 node 2, and then 2019 also. So first let me create those logins so that we feel comfortable. Node 2. 2019 node 2. It's done. So let's double check. I should have created that login, guys. I'm sorry for that. So I can see all the 4 logins. And let me run quickly SP help server roles and the segment. So 2017, 2019, node 1, node 2. 1 is missing. What is that? Node 1.
2017 node 1.
It is there, right? He is showing me disappearing as sysadmin. Okay, let me do this. Yeah. 2019 is fine. So let's go to 2019 node 2. So we have 2017 node 1, 2017 node 2, and what we are missing is 2019. So change the connection. I should have avoided this. I made a miss. So it should be 1 here and then 1 there. I see 2017 node 1, 2017 node 2, 2019. What is missing? Fine. It's fine. 20 local node is not required, so it's fine. Let's go here and let's inspect 2017. I didn't give any system name. Only node 2. Logins are there. That means I have not given system name. And then finally this. The one is there. Database should be there, right? Yeah, synchronizing. Security logins. 1 node 2. This is the waste of time. Okay. I think I've done everything what that can be done. Let's go to this one, availability groups, test AG, yeah, everything it got synced automatically after giving the permissions. So now coming back to properties, and then I will make this sync. In real time, what happens is that it will be in sync, right? Usually these two, node 1 and node 2 will be in sync, and the other 2 will be async. When you're doing this has to be the methodology. So other 2 has to be asynchronous because you don't want synchronous over there and make your applications to get suffered because of that lagging issue. So make it sure those 2 are async and the current one is sync. And now imagine I'm ready to perform the failover or cutover. So what I will do is I will pick one among them and I will make that synchronous. Sorry.
Can you check once dashboard also once?
Yeah, I will do that. So show dashboard, everything is green. Let me refresh it again. Off on. So synchronized, and this one is synchronizing. So we are good to go. And also one more thing, avoid failover mode as automatic when you're doing these kind of failures across different versions of SQL, right? So ensure that your failover mode is manual rather than automatic. Because if it is automatic, we don't know when it gets failed over and all. So better to go with manual. I'm just talking about the best practices. Okay. So now what I have to do, failover, right? So failover. And then click on next. 2019 is fine. So I can choose 2019. But once we fail over, we cannot come back, guys, because you cannot transfer the log records from higher version to lower version. So this is very important. So at the time of cutover, the dashboard should be clean. Since we are adding the nodes to the operating system, sorry, to the always on, I think there will be no lag. So if at all, in case of any complicated systems, so I will request you to add few more columns, like we will have those columns, right? What is it? Estimated recovery time, failover readiness. There are few columns that needs to be added. So add those columns and ensure everything is good. Then go with your cutover or failover, whatever it is. So this is just to see whether that works or not. So that is the reason. Click on connect. Next, I don't know if that works or not. So let's see. Because I'm doing in front of you, anything can happen. Okay, it went fine. So now 2019 is our primary. So let me refresh this. I'll go to 2019. I'll refresh that. 2019, it's fine. So let's go to availability group and close this one. Close this one as well. And now there is one important thing that you have to remember, show dashboard. Okay, now these two databases will be not synchronizing state. Okay, so that is how it works. So there is no error, there are no errors with respect to this configuration. So once we flip from 2017 to 2019, your 2017 nodes will appear, I mean, your databases will appear in not synchronizing state. So this is perfect. So don't come into conclusions that, okay, I have to work on these two databases. No, nothing like that. Since we flip over from lower version to high version, the higher version cannot ship the log records to the lower version. That is the reason it is saying not synchronizing. Okay. So now what I have to do is I just need to go to properties and change that last to 2017 to asynchronous and make this 2019 as synchronous. Okay. So let's refresh this. So it should be synchronized and should change to synchronized instead of synchronizing. Yeah. So it got synchronized and those two are in not synchronized, which is perfectly fine. And now I have to evict the two nodes. So first I will come here and I will remove the replicas from always on, these two, the node 1 and node 2 of 2017. And then once those two replicas gets evicted from always on, I will come back to my cluster and I will evict these two, node 1 and node 2 from Windows cluster as well. So this is how we should perform. Any questions? So this is rolling upgrade, very simple. From SQL perspective, not from Windows. Any questions? I hope it is clear.
Vamsi, I'm having a question. So, what if my 2017 is one DC, but I want to actually do migration between DC. So my old DC is going to be decommissioned.
That's fine. So see, the concept remains the same, right? So if you are in multi-subnet, so in your case, it is multi-subnet, right? DCs means definitely you have different subnets.
Yeah, different data center itself.
Different data centers, different IPs. So
yes.
So what you have to do is that the procedure follows the same. There will not be any difference. Okay, so you will be adding the nodes to the Windows cluster and adding the replicas to the always on, and you will just carry out the same action like what we did. In your case, what happens is that you will have a listener, right? You will have a listener, and
Yeah.
since it is multi-subnet, you'll have one listener IP online and one listener IP offline, right? One will be online state and one other will be in offline state. So
Yeah.
when you fail over, you don't need to worry. The other data center node will become primary and it will bring that IP online in another data center, and this data center IP goes offline, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, just talk in a simple term. So the other DC will become primary and it will get the IP, relevant IP online, and the old DC means 2017 IPs will become offline. So since it is offline, I can absolutely remove this from replica and can carry on the same steps. There will not be any difference.
Okay. Okay. Means
No.
when I talked to our infra team, so they said that as you install a cluster starting in the one domain, so but you are doing all the things to fail over to another domain, so there will be some cluster objects which will remain. Still, there are some like details will be left over in the old DC, and it may cause problems. So that's why
No,
I just want to clarify.
let's do one thing. So we can do multi-subnet with DAG. So I will carry out the same action tomorrow. I mean, whenever time permits, I cannot say tomorrow. So
Yeah.
when time permits, I can do the same thing with distributed availability groups, and that time I will ensure it is multi-subnet. So you will come to know.
Okay. Okay.
Go
Sure.
ahead, Sai. I think Sai, go ahead. Yeah.
One last question.
Yeah.
Here, once we are upgrading, do we have any rollback process? Like
No,
it's not.
you are gone. So once
Ah,
you flip from 2017 to 2019, you can straight away see this is in not synchronizing state, and you can never get back these databases back again to synchronized state. It's not possible. This is how it works.
okay.
You cannot come back from 2019 to 2017. It's not possible.
Thank you.
Okay, so learning. Yeah, Vikram has summarized all the things. So thanks, Vikram. So I think I will try to do as fast as possible with DAG also, distributed availability groups, the same concept, but with multi-subnet, just to complicate the things. Okay, and see how it works. And once that is done, I will take up the rolling upgrade of operating system. That is a bit more challenging, and it requires the people to learn to have certain knowledge at operating system level also. I hope this class is clear. This class main intention is to flip the databases from 2017 to 2019 by adding the different version of operating system to the existing cluster, and then perform failover from 2017 to 2019. Once we perform failover, there is no chance for us to fail back. And your databases, once we perform the failover, it will be not synchronized state on the 2017 version as in cluster. This is the conclusion. Okay, then.
Clear, Vamsi. Clear.
Yeah,
Thanks.
I think it is clear. So let's complicate the things. I will try to add few more scenarios to this, and let me think, because I have to think the scenarios. So once it is done, I will show up tomorrow. Okay. Thanks, guys. Thanks for your time.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Okay.